Good morning, y'all. It's Alec with Sharing the Journey. Cindy's already at work, so you've got just me today. But if you've watched my shorts that I've put out over the last 2 days, you know that even though it's late June, we are still getting snow here in West Yellowstone. And I was thinking, maybe I ought to show everybody how we stay warm as economically as possible here in Montana. For y'all that don't watch our channel, Cindy and I work as campground host, and well, she manages the store at this campground, and we travel the country, stay 5 to 6 months in every location before we move on. So we got here in Montana May 10th. The campground opened May 20th. Today is June 18th, 2024, and we had snow last night. It's all melted because it's gotten above freezing today, but we had snow last night from 10 o'clock last night till 3:30, 4 o'clock this morning. Just light flurries. We're actually getting a few light flurries right now. So we don't do a full winter setup like we did when we were staying in Minnesota for a winter, but we do a few things that saves us on propane expenses and keeps us warm, especially in the evenings. Let me show you what we do. So I'm gonna pan around the living room. Everybody say good morning to Chance. As you can see, I've got several windows, blinds partially up. That way we're letting natural sun come into the camper and help warm things up. I do not open these because we have our indoor gardens, well, 2 of the 3 planted, and we like to control the light using the grow lights on those, so we do not open those window blinds anymore. And then as you see up front, we have the front window blind partially up, again letting sunlight in to heat up the cabin. We keep the door blind up, and we keep the kitchen blind up. And yes, I am making chili because it's so dang cold outside. So we use portable space heaters along with our fireplace and our propane heat. Now what's important, as you can see right here, that's the first of our 2 heaters. We stick it on the glass because we have so much heat loss and so much cold penetrate the glass that little Miss Puma gets cold up here. I don't know if you can see her in her dark dungeon. So we keep the heater up here. That helps keep this front cabin portion heated, and also as we come in and out the door, we let cold air in and out. And on our particular coach, right up front, right there, that's the sensor for the automatic gas heater. So that registers the temperature, and then when it gets below, I've got it set on 66, when it gets below 66, then it turns the heat on. So that's right in way with the doorway. Now, one thing that is important to note here is that because the wiring is not like a house wiring, the wiring on a motorhome is a little bit thinner, and also we run an inverter, so we're always using our 4 batteries. We're plugged into 50 amp to run the fireplace and to run the microwave. I'm cooking a baked potato on the convection oven portion, and to run the central air conditioning, and it has a heat pump that we don't use very often. So because of that, we never turn our heaters right on anything but low, because low on these 2 heaters are 600 watts, and then it has high, which on one of them is 900 and I think the other one's 1,000, that it would trip the breaker, and then we'd have to reset the breaker on the coach. In the bedroom we have a similar heater right here. It's turned on. As you can see, it's on low, and we adjust the thermostat. So both this heater and the front heater are running off of the battery system, which is then charged by the 50 amp. So we keep those on low. And then the fireplace, which is direct wired, will working, or if the or if we're plugged into 50 amps. So that's running around the batteries. So we keep this on during the day. It has a remote control, and I keep it on 80 degrees, and it flickers on and off during the day. When we leave the camper, or when we go to sleep at night, I turn that off. For me, it's a fire hazard, and I don't like to leave it on when we're not here. As far as the portable heaters that are in the front window and back here in the, they have safety switches on the bottom. See it down there? They have safety switches, so if one of the animals was to knock it over, then it would automatically turn off. Now, outside in the water bay, this is also on our camper. The water bay is heated through the propane heater, but I also keep a portable heater down here, also on low, and I have it hooked to an extension cord that runs directly to the pedestal. That way, we are not overtaxing the system. It has a thermostat on it, and I have it set to kind of keep that bay about 48 degrees, and that works out fine. And then lastly is, like I said, we're here for months on end, and we won't be needing much propane or heat come probably after July 4th. I think this is our 4th season in Montana, and the last time we've had snow was July 4th. So I use external bottles of propane because I don't want to be packing the camper up, driving down the hill and filling up the propane tank. And so I do that by connecting an extend-a-stay and running this to 30-pound bottles that we carry with us. And if you want more information on the extend-a-stay, then I've got a great video. I'll try to link it in the description here that shows hooking that up, and it works well for us. So I also keep a thermostat, one of these little portable thermostats here. 45 degrees. Last night it got down to 31. The high yesterday was 50. And this is the water bay. It's 46 degrees. During the night when the propane heater was running a lot more, it got up to 67, but the minimum it got down to was 46 last night. Currently, with the system I've got going, it's 71 degrees here in the camper. I will reset these. I like to check and see what they do over the night. And then our coach has a built-in system, and it shows at the front where I showed you where the thermometer or the temperature gauge was at 68, in our bedroom it's 69. Then right here next to the fireplace it's 71. So we hope you found that information useful. Important things to note is to remember to always leave your space heaters on low. RVs are not built like houses. The wiring system is not as robust. Also, the reason I keep the heater in the water bay is just extra security for me. So I ran our ducting that takes the hot air from the gas heater into the water bay. I ran it over to the side that has our freshwater tank, our gray water tank, and our solids, our black water tank, so that we did not have an issue with those freezing. I did that when we were in Minnesota because we were in negative 20 degrees. A lot more preparation is needed if you're going to be in that cold of an environment. So I keep the electric heater over by the water pump and where the smaller hoses are. And that way I can ensure that I don't have any part of the system freezing. You don't ever want your water system freezing when you have very cold temperatures. It can cause damage to the coach, and it's also a major inconvenience. The other thing we do is, if we know it's going to get below freezing at night, then we disconnect our freshwater hose, lift the hose up so I'm able to drain all the water that's in the hose out. And I'll also remove my pressure regulator, and I will stick that in the heated bay because I don't want that damaged. If that brass freezes, I've had them crack. We use an adjustable pressure gauge, so the top is plastic that has a knob that you can increase or decrease the amount of pressure going into your coach. So I put that in the water bay. We have a 60-ish gallon tank that we keep fresh water in on the coach that came standard. I keep that 2/3 full. That way we can just water the pump, run the pump if we need water at night when it's below freezing. When we were in Minnesota, we would have weeks and weeks and weeks that it wouldn't get above freezing. So I was constantly filling that tank and using a macerator to get the gray water out and the black water out to a dump station or dump site. So anyway, I hope you found this information helpful and also informative, and it kind of explained the way we live. Until next time, we want to make sure y'all stay safe and have a good time camping out there. If you enjoyed this content, share it with your friends, hit the like button, drop a comment. That way YouTube knows we're relevant and we'll continue to share our videos. So thank y'all. I'll see you next time.